distance learners, you as well, okay? So we won't be able to end the conference until we're done doing this. Sure. Why is it weird? Let me see. Trying to not see that green thing in there. Oh, well, guess best can do. Okay. So, proportions of the face. We're doing a self-portrait now, our next unit. And the proportions of the face, they're like a formula, like a recipe, okay? There are certain things you can do to get your face, a drawing of your face with realistic proportions. And that formula doesn't change. It will change a little bit from person to person because you know, some of you have bigger eyes, some of you have smaller eyes. All done? So some of you have bigger eyes, some of you have smaller eyes, but mostly this recipe won't change. And now for your summative, you know, because I know you're in different levels. Some people draw more, they draw all the time, so they're really good. Some people never get to draw. It's not about the likeness of you that you're drawing on the paper. Well, it is part of it, but it's not the most important part. I don't want you to get frustrated because it does not look like you, because that takes practice. That takes hundreds, thousands of drawings to start looking more like you. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is this formula that I'm going to give you. And I'll be looking for that when you're drawing your self-portrait as well. So, so you're going to do on your page of your sketchbook, clean page. You're going to draw as big as you can because it will be easier for you to look for it later, okay? Now, there are different methods of drawing the face. There's several books, several methods there. We're doing like a very simplified version, okay? So, the first thing you do, you put down a circle. And let me show you how I do it. I'm going to give you time to do yours. Because drawing a circle freehand, everything we're going to do is going to be free-handed with no ruler, even though we're going to be measuring, okay? So what I do, it's hard to do one like this. You can try, you have a pencil, but like I like to kind of do I call it a rainbow line here, right? It's just like a semicircle. And now to make sure that my circle is not squishy like an oval like this, what I do is I measure. And this is something you're going to be learning, and you're going to use it all the time for this unit. It's measuring with your pencil. So if you look over there on the screen now, look at the screen, and here's what you do. You put the tip of the pencil aligned with that line, and then you're going to put your finger here. You're going to hold right where the other line is. Okay, so I know that this is the width of my circle, and I know that the length should be about the same. So what I do is I turn this way, right? And I know that my circle needs to end here. And then what I can do is I can just lift my pencil and make a mark there. See, now I have this little dot here. Sorry, I lowered the thing and I guess you couldn't see it. So look, here. Length, width of the circle. And then I'm turning and measuring. I was trying to do this so I could make this mark here. But you don't have to do it like that. You can do like this. Put your finger here and then you know that this is the length. Okay? Thank you. Now you can finish the circle. Now try not to make it oval. do the other rainbow thing. And I have a notebook here. It's hard to be turning around, but if you have your smaller notebook or if you have a paper, don't be afraid to be just turning the paper around. Instead of trying to bend your hand in this weird way, just turn the paper. All right, so you have a circle. Now your head's not a circle, right? This is just the top, the beginning. So what you're gonna do is, you're going to divide this in half, and here's how I do it. I eyeball it, kind of, and don't do my line straight away. I eyeball and make a mark, and then I kind of measure again with the pencil. Look, lining up the tip of the pencil with the line, and then holding on the other line, and then I go up here. Okay, looks like it's too high, needs to be a little lower, and then I do another mark. And then I measure. Nope. Oh, let me see the first. So you keep adjusting. Another thing that I do sometimes, I do what I call the cloth. Go get the paper from the floor. I put my fingers like that, and then do not move. Do not adjust them. Okay? So this is the length I need. I'm going to come here. And I know we're going to go up to here. So measure again. All right. Now to close down, the side of the face is kind of flat. Okay? It's your temple, your cheekbones in here. And then it starts closing down. Now, usually you're going to look at your model and you're going to see if they have a roundish face, they have a more oval face, how the chin is. Usually, you know, girls can be a softer curvy line and boys could be a little bit more angular, like you go and then you cut in a little bit more like this, so you have that jawline. But this is just a generic way to do it. Oh, and I'm sorry, I should have done this line here. After you measure, you're going to divide the circle in half. And then now that you have the jawline, the length of the face, you're going to divide the vertical in half too. Divide the face in half vertically. So I do the line, a mark, and then I measure. Okay, about right. A little bit more this way. So go ahead and do that. Get to this point. Now, remember the jaw, the front, the top of the head to the bottom of the jawline. You have this whole length here. And this part here, you're dividing the face into thirds. Okay? So you have 1, 2, 3. See if you can do it more or less like that. Because if you make this too small or too large, like this, if you do not divide the circle in half properly, it's going to throw off everything else. All the rest of the face is going to be out of proportion. Because this measurement won't be the same. Now, this line here will become your eyebrow line. So make sure, write it down, okay? Write it down just like I'm doing, because then you can go ahead and refer to it again. Then, from here to here, this third here, this bottom half, you kind of gonna divide it in half, and which actually will be the whole length of the face. So if you look at the whole length of the face and find the middle point, about here, measure again, measure with your pencil, make sure that does look right. Mine is too high. So I have to lower this a little bit. Okay, that's about right now. Then make a line there. All the way to the side of the face, okay? And that's your eye. That's your eye line. That's where the eyes will go. Now over here, on the bottom of the circle, that's where the nose will go. So make a mark there, and then just write down, the nose will go. And then from here to the bottom, you're gonna divide it in half. Measure again. Now you gotta take your time with this because, again, this is the recipe. They all should be the same. And this is the part that there's no telling me, oh, I try my hardest. Because it requires no talent, but it requires attention, okay? And take your time because you're just measuring things out. All right, so that's where the mouth will go, nose will go here. Now, on the eyes are usually 5 eye spaces. So this, from this side of the head to the other side, you gotta divide this in 5 equal spaces. And that's how big the eye should go. So here's how I do it. I kind of consider this middle part here. This is why it's important to do this right in the middle, because otherwise it's gonna throw everything off. So I make a mark on either side, kind of eyeball it, right? So I have this much here, and then this, what is left here, you're looking, right? What is left, I divide it in half. So look, here from here, then I divide it in half. Then before I make those marks really hard, I go ahead and measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's about right. Now you can make it harder for you to remember. Okay, so one eye, so you're gonna divide this line in 5 equal parts. Now you can write this down if you want. If you don't, that's fine. As long as if this is enough for you to remember, then that's great. Now the eyes, you're gonna take your time, look in the mirror, right? But I'm gonna put this almond shape here just for you to see, because we're gonna need the center of the eye to be able to do the next part. Okay, when we were drawing today, the other class, it was almost all the time people don't leave enough space here for the eyes. Okay, even though this is a different plane, this is the side of your face. If you look from the front, you still can see this space here. Okay, so from the corner of the eye, if you pull a line down, that's the width of the nose, usually. Okay, make 2 little lines here so you kind of know. And you're drawing this like this, okay, with your pencil, but you're taking notes of this so you can refer back to it when you're drawing your own portrait. Now from the center of the eyes, right, usually you have, if you're looking straight on, you have the iris here, then you have the pupil here. From here down, and same thing on the other side, very center of the line, that's the width of the mouth. Same thing for the mouth. You're going to look for your, in a mirror, but sometimes you don't even need, I like to use this line mouth. I use it for my center line, the line between the lips. That's, okay, it's gonna be the mouth. I'm gonna do this one here, otherwise it'll look weird. Now, this, the eyebrow line. It looks very, space here is wide, but when you start shading, it will look all right. And I like to do my eyebrows below, right, touching that line. So just put a line there for the eyebrows so you kind of know where they should go. And then here, this top part here, you're going to divide it in usually half, and that's going to be the hairline. So you can hairline. Now your hair, there's always shape, okay? You're looking at the shape of the hair here, and it goes above your skull. Your hair is not attached to the skull, so it had, well, it is attached, but you know what I mean. It goes over here, whatever the shape is, okay? Now ears. Even if you touch on your own face right now, you can tell, like, look, if I put my pencil on top of my ears here, and then I just turn straight, I can tell where it is. It's from the eye to the bottom of the nose here. So from the eye line here to the mouth, looks big in here, or somewhere in between here, you can do the ear, okay? From this line to this line. And the jaw, the neck is right behind your jaw here. You can feel it. You have this jawbone here, and then right close to the ears. Then that's your neck. And it's a curved line that taper out like that. All right, this is like basic proportion. Well, this line is so big. You need to have this on your sketchbook as a reference, just as it is, okay? And again, there's other methods too, and you can look for, you can look at other things.